Hi, welcome back to the Margot Trombetta and Ross Marie Greiner Peace Education and Anti-Bias Children's Library. My name is Mary Ashley Latta, and today I wanted to read to you from the book Owen and Mzee, the true story of an incredible friendship. This is one that I chose today because I have a friend who's sharing pictures of her turtle at home, and so I thought I could read this book and then I'll put her video at the end so you can see her turtles and hear about her story. So Owen and Maisie, the true story of a remarkable friendship told by Isabella Hatkoff, Craig Hatkoff, and Dr. Paula Kahumbu, with photographs by Peter Grest. So I wanted to start by reading the story of how this book came to be. But first, here's a picture of Owen and Maisie together. We'll see more pictures in a few minutes. So here's the letter. Dear friends, like so many people everywhere, we were captivated by an incredible photograph that appeared in newspapers in January 2005. It showed a baby hippo snuggling with a giant tortoise. We read that the unlikely pair, now inseparable companions, were brought together as a result of the tsunami that occurred in the Indian Ocean on December 26, 2004. As father and daughter, we were deeply moved by their story of resilience and friendship, and we wanted to learn more. We contacted Dr. Paula Kahumbu, general manager of Heller Park, where Owen and Maisie now live. And Dr. Paula shared with us the whole story of Owen's dramatic rescue from the sea and the healing that Owen drew from his friendship with Maisie. We all decided to write a book together that would share Owen and Maisie's adventure with children and adults everywhere. Then, Peter Grest, the photographer whose image brought Owen and Maisie to the world's attention, happily agreed to take part. Before we knew it, this book was born. We hope the incredible story you're about to read inspires you as much as it does us. It shows how connected we really are with everyone and everything. It is also a vivid reminder that even when the world seems its bleakest, we should never give up. With love and hope, Isabella and Craig. Do you see the hippo and the tortoise? This is the true story of two great friends, a baby hippopotamus named Owen and a 130-year-old giant tortoise named Maisie. The hippo was not always friends with the tortoise. He wasn't always known as Owen. And Owen was not always famous the world over. Here is how it all happened. You see all the hippos in the water there? Before the baby hippopotamus became known as Owen, he lived with his mother in a group or pod with about 20 other hippos. They fed and wallowed in and around Sabaki River in Kenya, a nation on the east coast of Africa. When he was about 1 year old, heavy December rains flooded the river. The racing water washed Owen and his family down the river until the fresh water became salty and the river flowed into the Indian Ocean near the small coastal town of Malindi. For days, the people of Malindi tried to chase the hippos back up the river, but the hippos enjoyed grazing the grasses along the shore and in the villagers' yards. Since hippos are the most dangerous animals in Africa and a full-grown adult can weigh as much as 8,000 pounds, there was little the people could do. There's the boats. On the morning of December 26, 2004, the sea suddenly rushed high onto the beaches, and surging waves pounded the shore. Many of the villagers' boats were damaged, and many fishermen had to be rescued. Before long, the sea was calm again, but it was a frightening time for everyone. A day passed before anyone thought to check on the hippos. The villagers now saw only one hippopotamus in the sea, a baby without his mother, stranded on a sandy coral reef among the sea grass. Tired and frightened, he was unable to reach the shore on his own. Soon hundreds of villagers and visitors were working together to help the young hippo. They knew that he would become sick if he stayed in the salty seawater for long. They used ropes, boats, fishing nets, and even cars to try and rescue him and bring him ashore to safety. This is a picture of the Malindi fishermen and their colorfully decorated wooden boats going to rescue Owen. And that's the picture of Owen stranded in the sea. It was soon clear that a rescue wouldn't be easy. Though the baby hippo was only about 2 feet tall, he weighed a hefty 600 pounds and was slippery and strong, and the hippo was alarmed by all the human commotion. Angrily, he broke through their nets and escaped from their ropes. Hours went by, and the anxious crowds of people who gathered to watch feared that the hippo could not be saved. Finally, with a stronger shark net, the rescuers were able to catch the hippo. A brave visitor named Owen tackled him, stopping him long enough to let others secure the net. That is why, when it came time to choose a name for the hippo, it seemed only right that he should be called Owen. At last, the rescuers towed the baby hippo toward the land. When they reached the shore, a loud, joyous cheer went up from the 1,000 men, women, boys, and girls who now crowded the beach. Their happy cries could be heard almost a mile away. Wrapped in the net, Owen was hoisted into the back of a pickup truck and brought to a shady spot. There's all the people. See if I can get the light on that right. Getting Owen into the boat. People weren't sure. I'll show you the picture first. There's 3 people talking about what to do with Owen. People weren't sure where Owen should be taken next. They called Haller Park, an animal sanctuary about 50 miles away near the city of Mombasa. Dr. Paula Kahumbu, the manager, immediately offered Owen a place to live there. She explained that he could never be returned to the wild. Since he was still a baby, he wouldn't have learned yet how to fend for himself, and he would never be welcomed into another hippopod. He would be seen as an intruder and attacked, but they would take good care of him at Haller Park. Dr. Paula offered to drive to Malindi herself to bring Owen to his new home. Dr. Paula knew she would need help. She asked the chief animal caretaker, Stephen Dway, to come along with her. She knew that Stephen had a special way with animals. Some people said he could even talk to them. Dr. Paula and Stephen quickly set off in her small truck to Malindi. Meanwhile, ecologist Sabine Bayer got to work with others at Haller Park to prepare for Owen's arrival. There they are, talking about getting ready for Owen. When Dr. Paula and Stephen arrived in Malindi, they helped to remove the nets and lead Owen out of the pickup. But Owen became angrier than ever and charged at the people gathered around. They tried to help him calm down by wrapping a blanket around his head. That way he wouldn't see the things that were upsetting him. But Owen was angry about that too. After many hours, about a dozen rescuers managed to move Owen from the pickup into Dr. Paula's truck, tying him so that he would be safe during the long drive to Haller Park. I think we're about to meet Mzee. Meanwhile, Sabine and other workers prepared a large enclosure for Owen. They chose a part of the park that had a pond and a mud wallow, as well as tall trees and brush, everything a hippo could want. The area was already home to a number of bushbats, vervet monkeys, and a giant Aldabara tortoise named Mzee. Mzee, whose name means wise old man in the Swahili language, was the oldest of creatures in the park. At about 130 years of age, he had been alive since before Stephen's great-grandmother was born. He wasn't very friendly except to Stephen, who seemed to know just what he liked, such as getting tickled under the chin. Otherwise, Mzee kept to himself. No one could have guessed how Mzee's life was about to change. There's a picture of Stephen tickling Maisie under the chin. There's Maisie. 130 years old. Can you imagine? Look at that. There's Maisie, and there's Owen. Looks like they're about to meet. Over here, here's another picture of them curled up together. Finally, Dr. Paula and Stephen arrived with Owen, who was now weak and exhausted. As soon as the ropes that held him were untied, Owen scrambled from the truck directly to Maisie, resting in a corner of the enclosure. Owen crouched behind Maisie the way baby hippos often hide behind their mothers for protection. At first, Maisie wasn't happy about this attention. He hissed at Owen and crawled away. But Owen, who could easily keep up with the old tortoise, did not give up. Slowly, as the night went on, Maisie began to accept his new companion. When the park workers checked on them in the morning, Owen was snuggled up against Maisie, and Maisie didn't seem to mind at all. Sounds like Owen was scared. What do you think? How is Owen feeling? Over the next few days, Maisie continued to crawl away, and Owen continued to follow him. But sometimes it was Owen who would walk away from Maisie, and Maisie who would follow. Bit by bit, Maisie was getting friendlier. At first, Owen wouldn't eat any of the leaves left out for him. Stephen and the other caretakers were worried that he would weaken even more. Then they noticed Owen feeding right beside Maisie, as if Maisie were showing him how to eat. Or perhaps it was Maisie's protective presence that helped Owen feel calm enough to eat. No one will ever know, but it was clear that the bond between Owen and Maisie was helping the baby hippo to recover from being separated from his mother and stranded in the sea. So there's Maisie teaching Owen how to eat, or Owen feeling safe enough to eat. As the weeks went on, Owen and Maisie spent more and more time together. Soon they were inseparable. Their bond remains very strong to this day. They swim together, eat together, drink together, and sleep next to each other. They rub noses. Owen leads the way to different parts of the enclosure, then Maisie leads the way. Owen playfully nuzzles Maisie's neck, and Maisie stretches his neck forward, asking for more, just as he does when Stephen tickles him under the chin. Though both animals could easily injure each other, they are gentle with one another. A sense of trust has grown between them. There's a picture of them swimming. Over here is a picture of them nuzzling. Wildlife experts are still puzzled about how this unlikely friendship came to be. Most have never heard of a mammal such as Owen and a reptile such as Maisie forming such a strong bond. Perhaps for Owen it happened this way. Young hippos like Owen need their mothers in order to survive. An old, slow tortoise like Maisie can never protect Owen the way a fierce mother hippo could. But since Maisie's coloring and rounded shape are familiar to hippos, it's possible that to Owen, Maisie looks like a hippo mother he needs. Harder to explain is the affection that Maisie seems to show for Owen. Like most Aldabra tortoises, Maisie had always preferred to be alone. But sometimes these tortoises live in groups, so perhaps Maisie sees Owen as a fellow tortoise, the first tortoise he is willing to spend time with. Or perhaps Maisie knows that Owen isn't a tortoise, but likes him anyway. The reasons are unclear, but science can't explain what the heart already knows. Our most important friends are sometimes those we least expected. I wonder who your most important friends are. News of Owen and Maisie's friendship quickly spread around the world. People all over have come to love Owen, who endured so much yet never gave up, and Maisie, who became Owen's friend when he needed one most. Their photographs have appeared in countless newspaper, magazine articles, television programs, and even a film documentary have been made about them. Visitors come to Holler Park every day to meet the famous friends. There they are again. Owen and Maisie. Owen suffered a great loss, but with the help of many caring people and through his own extraordinary resilience, Owen has begun a new, happy life. Most remarkable is the role that Mzee has played. We'll never know for sure whether Owen sees Mzee as a mother, a father, or a very good friend. But it really doesn't matter. What matters is that Owen isn't alone, and neither is Mzee. And that is the true story of Owen and Mzee, two great friends. Sometimes what we need most is to not be alone. So hopefully you are enjoying your day and you enjoyed the story of Owen and Mzee. And now I'm going to share with you a video about my friend Susan's turtles.